Good morning. Today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. It's 10 a.m. and I call this meeting of the Platte County Commission to order. Mr. Burberick, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. A couple items about the agenda this morning before we get started. The final item on the consent calendar is item G. Normally, last item on the consent calendar, we have business action items listed. It's not there, so the last consent is G, and the first business action item is A. And the other change is our first business action item will actually be what is currently labeled item L. That is a commission order for the county recorder, Chris Wright. So he's a very busy person, and so we've agreed to move that up for him. Okay, first item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval of the agenda with the amendments noted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Burberick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar with changes that were noted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar, which includes items A through G. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Burberick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda is business action items, and the first of those will actually be item L, and that is 2025 CO 027 to be presented by Platte County Recorder of Deeds, Christopher Wright.
Thank you, Commissioners. Christopher Wright for the record. I appreciate you accommodating me this morning. I have a meeting. Before you this morning is 2025 CO-027. It is an amendment to 2023 CO-019 ARPA in the amount of $15,750 to be expended to finish the digitization of the prosecutor's office. There was additional boxes and totes that were added after the scope that was given to us. And so this would be additional funds to create that. The office is almost completely finished, minus these 30-some totes that need to be just finished up. The funds would come from the capital project fund, reserving the right to utilize any additional ARPA funds should it remain, but I understand there is no ARPA fund, so it'd come from the capital project fund. So that is what I have before you this morning, Commissioners.
I move approval of 2025-CO-027, a budget amendment to 2023-CO-019 ARPA for some additional scanning for prosecutor's office files.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Chris, I just want to say that, this digitization process is a huge step towards transparency for the county. It's been expensive. It's been a long process, and I appreciate you taking the lead on this and sticking with it to the end. The people of Platte County are better off for it. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Burberick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Chris. Next on the agenda, 2025 CO 021 to be presented by Sheriff's Office, Major Shanks. Captain Shanks, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Shanks with the Sheriff's Office. 2025 CO 021. We're asking for approval for an order for the equitable sharing agreement certification for the fiscal year 2024. There is no budget impact on this. This is part of the civil forfeiture fund that allows us to continue to participate with the federal government, our agency, and any other participating law enforcement agency with the distribution of civil forfeiture funds.
I move to approve action item 2025-CO-021, equitable sharing agreement and certification.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025-CO022.
Jeff Shanks with the Sheriff's Office again, 2025 CO022. We're asking for the approval of the order. This is an agreement between Platte County, Missouri and the entity known as NeoGov. This is for the purpose of purchasing Power DMS software. This is going to be a software suite that helps the Sheriff's Office. It's going to be our records management, timekeeping, scheduling. It'll do our early warnings intervention system for the benefit of the staff, assist us in documenting internal investigations, mental health networking, peer support, department policy, sorting and dissemination. The budget impact, this is an overall, the price that we got was for 3 years. The overall budget impact is going to be $177,344.40. The first year, however, is just $58,078.80, which is, we've located that and found that in the 2025 budget. Year 2 is $51,589.95. Year 3 is $67,675.65. And both those separate year 2 and year 3 will be in our 26 and 27 budget proposals to continue going on. The contract has been reviewed and approved as to form, and the auditor's office has certified that the unencumbered funds are available for the 2025 budget.
I move approval of 2025-CO-021, a contract between Platte County and Power DMS by NeoGov.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments?
Morning, Commissioner. Sheriff Holland. Something I did want to point out to you regarding this. Right now, the Sheriff's Office has multiple disparate software systems that do some of this work that don't communicate with each other. This allows us to leverage data collected in different sources to aggregate it and pull data out. Plus, it replaces some softwares that we're using. So the variance between what the county is paying now per year versus this software is about a $1,200 difference. And this is bringing on electronic timekeeping, which we currently do not have, which will bring on some additional efficiencies that will exceed the $1,200 increase, in my opinion.
Thank you. Any further comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025-CO023.
Jeff Shanks with the Sheriff's Office, 2025 CO023. This is an order approving an agreement between Platte County, Missouri and Spectrum. This is for the purpose of fiber internet services. This will be upgrading and providing fiber internet services for the Sheriff's Office at our location down on Plaza Circle. The budget impact is $7,191, which is included in the 2025 budget. This also has been reviewed and approved as to form, and the auditor's office has certified that the funds are available.
I move to approve 2025-CO-023 for Spectrum Fiber Internet Service.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker.
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025-CO028.
Jeff Shanks with the Sheriff's Office, 2025 CO028. This is an order approving the agreement between Platte County, Missouri and the Park Hill School District, and this is for the purpose of continuing to provide school resource officers in the Park Hill School District. The budget impact on this is $425,662.08 plus benefit equipment and costs. The school district is going to pay 80% of the salary and benefits for 5 deputies, 70% of the salary and benefits for 1 deputy. And in addition, the school district will be paying 50% of the equipment costs. These funds are contained in the current budget. This has been reviewed and approved as to form, and the auditor has reviewed it and certified that the funds are available.
I move approval of 2025-CO-028, an agreement between Platte County and Park Hill School District for resource officers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Berger,
Yes.
Commissioner Bamber.
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Captain Shanks.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next on the agenda, 2025 CO-026 to be presented by County Administrator Wes Minder. Morning, Wes.
Good morning, Commissioners. Wes Minder. Before you is an order to approve the appointment of an interim county treasurer. Pursuant to state statutes, the county commission, within 2 weeks of the resignation of a treasurer, is required to appoint an interim treasurer. The commission, after interviewing multiple candidates, the commission determined that Christopher Kendall of Farley, Missouri, was the best qualified candidate to serve in that role until appointment by the governor. Mr. Kendall is a lifelong Platte County resident with a bachelor degree in accounting from University of Missouri, Kansas City. I would call him a nearly lifelong Platte Countyan. I believe he has been here since he was 3 years old. So he is in the community. He's been very involved in his church activities and also with multiple local financial positions that he's worked for in his career. And so with this appointment, Mr. Kendall would take effect immediately as County Treasurer Rob Willard tendered his resignation earlier this morning.
I move to approve action item 2025-CO-026 for appointment of an interim county treasurer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? I would just like to say that as Wes said, we did interview multiple candidates. This is a bit of a challenge stepping into this position as is. Chris is very qualified. We're very happy to have him on board and looking forward to serving with you. Any further comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Berger,
Yes.
Commissioner Bamber,
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. And Chris, if you don't mind, step right on up to the clerk's desk and let's swear you in. Get you started.
do you, Christopher Kendall, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Missouri, and that you will faithfully demean yourself in the office of county treasurer? Congratulations.
Chris? Congratulations. Welcome to Platte County. Okay, next on the agenda, 2025 CO-020 to be presented by County Clerk Jara Pruitt. Morning, Jara.
Good morning, Commissioners. You have before you 2025 CO-20 Senior Tax Credit Approvals and Denials. Since the enactment of the Senior Tax Freeze Program, my office has been taking in applications and working with citizens of Platte County. We've received over 6,000 applications at this time and will continue to accept applications until May 15th of this year. Today you have before you the second round of recommended approvals and denials. With the recommendations before you today, I would like to tell you that we work with our citizens. If there's corrections or any additional information needed, we're working to collect that before we make any recommendation for approval or denial. So with that, I would request approval on CO-020.
I move approval of 2025-CO-020, the senior tax credit approvals and denials according to the lists attached to the order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? We'll just say once again, this is a huge project. It's very important to the senior citizens of Platte County. So thank you for your efforts on this. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freiberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Berger,
Yes.
Commissioner Bamber,
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jara. Next on the agenda, 2025 RES 026 to be presented by Parks and Recreations Director Daniel Erickson. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Daniel Erickson on behalf of the Platte County Parks and Recreation Department. Resolution 26 is the 2025 Parks Outreach Grant slate. As you're aware, the county offers these grants. We have for over 20-plus years since the voters approved the parks and stormwater tax. This year, we received, I believe, 23 grants from eligible organizations. The amount requested was well over $400,000. So the park board had a lot of work to do. We met with the park board several weeks ago, where we heard presentations from all the applicants, most of the applicants. The board ultimately made a recommendation. I was able to share that recommendation with the commission in work session a couple weeks ago. So today I'm presenting that recommendation. I know we did agree that we were going to tweak one small little project and include it. So that is included here today. So with this, staff recommends that you approve the slate as shown in Exhibit A. The next step for here is once we, if this gets approved, then we'll reach out to each one of these applicants and have them submit a contract, which will outline how the money is spent and how money is reimbursed and so forth. So with that, staff recommends you approve the 2025 Parks and Recreation grants.
I move to approve 2025-RES-026 for approval of outreach grants.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berber?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025 CO 029.
Commissioner, I would like to present H and I together, if that's okay. They're inter.
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, the next two items are a bid award and the contract award. Several months ago, the county went out to bid to upgrade the lighting at the Platte County Community Center North here in Platte City, to upgrade those lights to LED lights. This is something we did at Platte County South Community Center some time ago. This project is twofold. One, a lot of these lights are at their age of needing to be replaced. It's going to be better light for the areas, less dingy kind of light. And ultimately, LEDs are a lot more energy efficient, so that helps us keep our utility bills under control. So there was a competitive bid. We did receive two bids. The lowest and best bid was Yates Electric Construction Company in the amount of, I believe, $60,600. So staff recommends on item H, or CO 29, that you accept their bid award, and on CO 30 that we approve the contract award with Yates Construction Company in the amount of $60,600. The contract has been reviewed by staff. It's been reviewed by our attorney. The funds have been certified by the auditor's office.
I move approval of 2025-CO-029, awarding the bid to Yates Electric Construction Company for the Platte County Community Center North LED light replacement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berber?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0.
Move to approve 2025-CO-030 for the contract award for the light replacement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berber?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025 CO 024 to be presented by Planning and Zoning Director Daniel Erickson.
The planning hat on, Commissioner 24 is a request to rezone that was submitted by David R. Cutting Jr. Trust. They are seeking to rezone approximately 17 acres from agricultural to RE rural estates. The intent of this subdivision was to create a one-lot, 17-acre lot for a new home construction. This property is located off of Second Creek Road, which is not too far from Smithville. It's right on the county line. So this came before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission heard this item and voted unanimously 10-0 to recommend its approval. Staff recommended to the Planning Commission that they approve this.
I move approval of 2025-CO-024 rezoning from AG to RE for the David R. Cutting Jr. Trust.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025 CO025.
Commissioner, the second item that was forwarded from the Planning Commission is a unanimous recommendation as well. Well, actually, it was 9-0 with one abstention. This was a request to rezone 30 acres of property located off of H Highway. We are north of Weston quite a ways. The applicant, Mid-America Farms LLC, is seeking to rezone 30 acres from ag to RE rural estates to create 3 10-acre lots. All 3 of the lots will be eligible for new homes. As I mentioned, the Planning Commission recommended approval, staff recommended approval. The proposal, as with the last one, conforms to the county's land use plan.
That's all.
I move approval of 2025-CO-025 rezoning from AG to RE for Mid-American Farms LLC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Daniel. Next on the agenda, 2025 CO031 to be presented by Public Works Director Bob Heim. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Heim, Director of Public Works. Before you this morning, Commissioners, is the 2025 annual bid awards. This is for categories 6 through 22. We do this every year. Go out to suppliers and contractors that we use over the course of the year. Our staff has gone through all the bids that we received, and you'll see attached to your paperwork, there's a list of vendors that we're recommending be approved. It's 70-some vendors, so I'm not going to read it all
Thank
to
you.
you. If the public would like, I can send a copy of that list out to them if they'll call our office. But staff has called through all these, and we feel that these are the best bids for this year. So with that, our staff would recommend that you approve these bids.
Move to approve 2025-CO-031 for 2025 annual bids, categories 6 through 22.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. And you want to hang in there for a second? So next item is office announcements from county office holders and staff, and we have a bid opening.
Yes, this is our 2025 road resurfacing bid that was turned in on Friday. And with your approval, I'd like to ask the clerk to open the bids that we have received. She'll read those aloud, and then at the end, if the commission would forward those to the Public Works Department, we'll further review them and develop who the apparent lows are on that.
Okay. Yes. Please go ahead and open the bids.
Our first bid is from Tandem Paving. There's multiple unit prices. So under category 1, the unit price is $91.75. Under item number 3, the unit price is $1.58. The next bid is from Vance Brothers. Okay, unit prices under item number 5, the unit price is $3.90. Item number 6, the unit price is $3.81. Item 7, unit price is $1.56. Item 8, the unit price is $1.66. And then we have a third bid from Superior Bowen. Okay, item number 1, unit price is $87.35. Item number 3, unit price is $2.25. And that concludes the bid opening.
Okay, Clerk Pruitt, please forward those to the Bob and his group at the Public Works Department and let us know how it goes.
We'll come back to you in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Any further announcements from county office holders and staff? Sheriff Holland.
Morning, Commissioner, Sheriff Holland. As you know, St. Patrick's Day is usually one of our busier days for our traffic enforcement unit. With it being during the week this year, we anticipated that Saturday and Sunday were going to be our heavier alcohol-related days. So we partnered with multiple agencies across the metro area as part of a Mothers Against Drunk Driving DWI campaign this weekend. In Platte County, we had, well, one, to give you an idea, our first alcohol-related incident of the weekend occurred at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, which was a injury crash, where the driver, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but allegedly was intoxicated. But we had 14 arrests out of our campaign Saturday night into early Sunday morning. They came on about 7 o'clock Saturday night and worked till 4 a.m. Sunday morning on DWI enforcement. And for those that weren't out paying attention, that's 14 arrests during parts of which we had a snowstorm for part of that window of time. So obviously DWI is still an issue for our community, and just wanted to give you a report on our efforts from over the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Were any of those for drugs other than alcohol, or are those all alcohol related?
As far as I know, the DWIs were all alcohol. Not all 14 are DWI arrests.
Mhm.
Alcohol-related DWIs account for about half of the total arrest. There were some non-alcohol drug intoxication, driving offenses in there. And we had a felony pursuit that was involved as well with one of those arrests.
So your officers are getting good at spotting the marijuana drivers under the influence of marijuana? Is that
We do a lot of training in impaired driving of all sorts of substances. You have alcohol, marijuana. Driving under the influence of marijuana is still illegal in the state of Missouri.
Mhm.
We have a few officers in our department and a couple other regionally that are trained drug recognition experts to help if they stop somebody that's impaired on something other than alcohol. They're trained to go through some specialized tests to determine what substance that individual may be on. And we actually have a couple of deputies that are trained as phlebotomists, and we have a few more going to training actually in the next couple of weeks to become certified phlebotomists, where they can draw blood for DWI enforcement for blood tests when they refuse a breath test.
good? 5:30 a.m. As I tell my two grown sons, nothing good happens after midnight.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one public comment.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments or announcements from county office holders and staff? It is the public comment period. I have one here, Julia Powell. Julia, hi. Come on up and approach why don't you give us your name and address and speak freely.
Thank you. My name is Julia Powell. My address is 1309 River Run Drive here in Platte City. I've been a resident since 2011. You mentioned you had children. Do both of you have children?
This is the public comment time, so go ahead and make
Okay.
your comments.
Well, I know you do. And if you've had children within the Platte City School District or Platte County School District the last 5 years, you would have gotten an email about children and suicide. There have been children in Platte County that have committed suicide. I myself have a 9 and a 12-year-old. My 12-year-old has already started exhibiting signs of distress. And he has been in counseling off and on, especially after the divorce and separation that was years ago. So mental health is a big issue. And it runs in my family, unfortunately, as well. So we take steps to remedy that and take care of those things. Counseling is a big part of that. Unfortunately, when my son started exhibiting stress or distress, it took a few months to get him into counseling. Thankfully, Synergy Services is an amazing resource. But so going to this child tax, so many of my friends, family members, acquaintances voted for this tax. It is what is good for the children. And I take offense to what you said. Did you seriously say that the radical left only cares about raising taxes and advancing their woke agenda? I believe I read that quote, and I take offense to that. I'm Catholic. And honestly, yes, I am Republican. However, lately I do not agree with the mass firings and the layoffs and the freezing of the funds. I'm all about what's doing best for people, especially the most vulnerable, our seniors and our kids. I am a Sunday school teacher. I've been on the board of the PTA. I coach soccer. Anything to just help our youth because they are amazing. They are our future. This was to support them. I go to Beacon Health meetings. It's all about trying to figure out how to protect our kids from substance abuse. You were just up here talking about, stops for DUIs and marijuana. I was a teenager. Glad there wasn't social media. But I get some of where they're coming from. But these kids have added pressures of social media. I can't even imagine. But and then you accuse them of wasting money on lawyers. But had you done your due diligence, my friends, family, it didn't matter if they were Democrat or Republican. We voted on this child sales tax. It is your responsibility to do what Platte County citizens want. And for you to say this isn't needed and this is a radical left, that's not the case. My neighbor is a Democrat. I sort of am a Republican. I don't know. I'm leaning the other way now because I don't agree with what's going on.
Please.
Sorry. But anyway, we need to do better to protect our own kids. So please reconsider this. I know there's stuff going on right now, but do what's best for the kids. This is about the children. It's not about us. It's about what's doing best for our kids. All right, that's all I have.
Any further public comments? Any comments from the commission? None. Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 The motion carries 3-0. It's 10:33 a.m. and we are adjourned. We will move right into our ARPA agenda.
Got another meeting.